morning shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight with your award-winning host, Dale Davidson. Dale interviews fascinating guests from top-ranked celebrities to people just like you who have an important story to tell. For more than 15 years, Dale is broadcast every week from the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. He finds the people who really make Las Vegas a one-of-a-kind city and lets the world know just what's happening in this remarkable town. You'll discover why 50 million people visit the entertainment capital of the world every year. Stay tuned for another exciting episode of Las Vegas Tonight.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. Thank you for tuning in. You're going to be very, very, very glad you did. We have an extremely special guest. His name is Ron Knight. He's a performer extraordinaire, and we're going to maybe ask him to sing a little a cappella there. Ron, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
Yeah, we so appreciate it.
No worries.
How long you been in Vegas?
Well, I've actually been in Vegas, I think, for about 23 years now.
Okay.
But I'm off and on because we live in two different places.
Where do you live?
We live in Australia,
Right.
and we live here.
Yeah.
Her family is
Kimberly.
in Australia. Kimberly's family is in
Yeah.
Australia. And so is my daughter.
Oh, okay.
And my kids are born in Australia.
Oh, okay.
My son happens to be here at the moment
Yeah.
with my two grandkids. And I have a new grandkid that's here already. I haven't seen him for a year. And that's essentially why we're going back.
Oh, congratulations. Grandkids are the best.
Oh, yeah. This one is.
The Lord's blessed me with 10 of them.
Oh,
yeah. And as I said in my last show, and I'm not a Mormon or Catholic.
Right.
So figure that out.
Yeah, right.
But I've got 4 sons, and they and their lovely brides are producing. So I say, more,
Yeah,
double digits.
That's right, man. So wait for you to stick around.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's so much fun. What brought you to Australia? Why did you go there?
Well, I didn't really know any Australians at the time. This was probably around 1979.
Okay.
And then I met a young lady who I was married to before Kimberly. This was my second marriage.
Oh, okay.
And she was here on a 3 to 6 month visa.
Oh, okay.
And she had to leave. And I didn't know where I was going to actually go.
Right.
But she said, well, I'm going to have to leave.
Yeah.
And I didn't know whether I really wanted to hook up with her at the time, neither she.
Yeah, right.
So my friend was sitting in the corner, and we were sitting in my apartment. And he said, you know, you and I are really good friends. He said, but if it was me, I'd be going. So that's how I ended up in Australia.
Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. And how many years were you living there?
Oh, geez. Well, before I returned to the United States, I had lived there 12 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All up, I've lived there about 40 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a wonderful
And that's
place.
really home, isn't it, now for you?
No, not really, because I have an international family, so I got to go back and forth, and I never really thought about that.
Yes.
When you got an international family,
Yeah.
you know, you do want to see your family.
Sure.
And so I'm back and forth until I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm from Newark, you know, from where the mafia, you know, where the mafia is.
From Jersey.
Yeah, I'm from Jersey.
Yeah.
Originally where Frank Sinatra's from. He was my next door. Who else?
He was
Bruce
from
Springsteen.
He was from Hoboken.
Hoboken, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Bruce Springsteen is from there. Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Madonna.
Oh, sure.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Isley Brothers.
Oh, sure.
You know, they're all there from there, you know.
Now,
and my brother too. My brother had a couple of hits in the 50s.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, if you remember Earth Angels, Seven Wonders of the World,
yeah,
and
sure.
Fool in Love.
Great song. And that was your brother?
That was my brother Arthur Knight and the Keytones.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so.
Did he interest you in music? Is that
really, that's how I got interested.
Yeah.
To be honest, because my mother used to always have to sweep a lot of girls off the fire escapes. And I would have been probably about maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about it, you know, when I was about 7, 8 years old, I thought, wow, that's what I want to be, man. Have all those girls on the fire escape, man,
waiting for me to step out, so they can
my mother used
scream.
to always have to shoo them away from the fire escape.
That's funny.
So it was really, it was kind of saying, we were really, you know, we didn't have a lot of money or anything like that, and he ended up getting a hit record.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know if you remember the label Old Town Records.
No, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, Old Town Records was the label at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I can remember them recording it on that little, you know, the little tape recorder. Like the line, you know, little line things.
Oh, yeah.
And I can remember them recording it.
Wow.
You know, so, yeah, I mean, I have a good memory, you know, from the time I'm about 3 years old.
Yeah, and did you have other siblings?
Yeah, I had, there was 8 of us all together, but I've lost my 3 brothers, a sister, and we all survived now by myself and my 3 sisters.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Now, when you were growing up, were your parents religious at all? Were they Christian?
Well, my mother was very, very.
Oh, okay. So you got a chance to see that and absorb that.
Yeah, I got a chance to. I was always in church.
Oh,
yeah, I actually stopped going to church when I was in college.
Oh.
College you get a different perspective in college.
That happened to me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So for me, but other than that, I had gone to church every Sunday.
Yeah. Did you start music in church? A lot of people have.
No, I didn't.
No?
I didn't.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I really started on the street corners.
Is that right?
Yeah, man. You know, we just get on the street corner and we just doo-wop.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful music. Yeah.
And so that's how I really started out. I mean, I used to watch my brother, who came along with Frankie Lyman and Little Anthony Imperials. And,
sure.
You know, and the Righteous Brothers. And,
yeah.
So.
Little Anthony was a long time a Las Vegas native.
Yeah, that's right. He moved. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I didn't sing in church at all.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, the reason I didn't probably sing in church is because a lot of the churches that I went to, they did do it.
Yeah.
But I think the kind of music that I was doing at the time, gospel didn't attract me.
Oh, okay. Didn't lend itself.
I'm more attracted to it now.
Yes.
Than I was before because I just like the energy that's in it.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a real energetic singer.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I like, I do ballads very, very well.
Okay.
But I really like the energy.
Oh, yeah.
Because then I can get my point across.
Yeah. And gospel's full of energy.
And it's full of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so her mother's pushing me constantly to do a gospel album.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she's constantly, she said, oh, you should do a gospel album. You know, but it takes, you know, I got to get up the energy to do it, you know. Yeah. I probably will because I've been researching a lot of the tunes.
Oh, have you? Yeah. Yeah, it's glorious music. I was with a bunch of pals yesterday, men and women that are in media and happen to be Christians, and we were talking about Elvis.
Oh, yeah, right.
And he loved gospel music.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And won 3, for all of those songs, he recorded over 900 songs. For all of those songs, he won only 3 Grammys, and they were all gospel.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Well, because the people are more in tune with gospel. They're willing, see, it's an older crowd. So the older crowd will listen.
Yeah.
Whereas it's not difficult. You do get some, but in the whole, young people have been kind of dumbed down from their phones.
Yeah.
So they're not really interested in the word, no matter what it is.
That's right.
Because they know everything. They know everything already.
That's
so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
You can't tell a Gen Z
you know, and we were all
person
told
anything.
that when we was growing up
Yes,
by
sure.
our fathers and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
right.
They would say, yeah, okay, you know what? I'm not going to tell you anything. When you get my age, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I see examples with my son right now.
Oh, do you really?
He's followed the same path as I.
Yeah.
I'm following, and I crack up laughing.
Yeah, because you know what's coming.
I know it's coming. And I tried to tell him that a long time ago. He said, yeah, but they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, Dad.
You know? Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, save it. Yeah.
Yeah, save it. You know, so.
How did you end up in L.A.? You were in L.A. for a while. Went to school there, right?
Yeah, I fell 365 on the lottery for Vietnam.
Yeah.
But when I applied for 3 schools because I really wanted a higher education.
Right.
I had very good teachers when I was in school. When I was in the lower grades.
Yeah.
Very, very good teachers. I had good music teachers. I had good political science teachers. You know, people who really kind of. I don't have to tell you. You know, we had better teachers.
Sure.
Because we had experienced teachers.
Yes.
And what happened was, I just decided that after my parents passed away, I had some pretty bad experiences.
Did you?
Because, my mom passed away at 8, and then my father passed away just before I got out of high school.
Oh, wow.
But the experience that I had to go through was, I had had a job since I was maybe 8.
Wow.
At A&P supermarkets, you know,
sure.
and I was bagging for people.
Them.
Right?
Yeah,
Remember A&P?
Sure.
And when my parents died, we really didn't have any place to live, but I didn't want to, we grouped together, 5 of us grouped together, and we said, we are not going to an orphanage. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
But what happened was, we decided that after I went to the guy to tell him that I had a job,
right,
the project manager, you know, because we lived in the projects,
right,
and he looked at me, and with the most evilest eyes of all time, he said, I don't care whether your parents are dead or not. I want you guys out of that apartment. I said, well, but I have a job. I'll pay. He was one of the worst human beings I ever met in my life.
Wow.
And I had a friend by the name of Randy Neighbors, who is now a pastor in Virginia. And he had a sister living in California. He knew that I didn't have very much money. And he said, well, look, maybe I can set something up with you for with my sister. So I ended up flying to California, and she met me at the airport, where I went and stayed in Altadena.
Oh, I know where that is. Sure.
Yeah. I stayed in Altadena.
Yeah.
And they were very churchy, but they weren't the type of church people that I wanted to be around.
Yeah.
Because they were really from the deepest southern place I had, like where my father came from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Alabama, Mississippi.
Yeah, but they were deeper than that. Down in there, okay. And this one guy, his eldest brother was really pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I used to play basketball with them all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And I heard the other one talking about me one Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, he said I didn't want to go to church, but it wasn't because I didn't want to go to church. It was because of him.
Oh, really?
But I didn't want to express it to him.
Yes.
And there was a girl there that I wanted to see all the time too.
Okay.
You know. So what I did is I decided that I was going to leave. I had $26 in my pocket.
Right.
Not a good move.
How old were you?
I was 17 and a half, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's young.
Yeah, 17 and a half. Didn't know anything about California, you know.
But there you were.
I registered for school. I got accepted by a junior college.
Yeah.
And
LA City College, wasn't it?
Yeah, LACC.
Yeah.
And I went there, you know, I registered for there, but I didn't really have any money, you know. So I caught the, I don't know if you remember, you know Altadena, but I used to catch the 72 bus in Pasadena.
Yes.
To get on to go downtown to Grand Street, right?
Okay, yeah.
And
where the school is, yeah.
I'd get down there and I realized, well, I'm down here now. And at that time, there was no homeless, if you recall.
Yeah.
There was no homeless down there.
Yeah.
And here I am, 17 years old, homeless.
Oh, no. Not a good plan.
Wasn't a good plan.
Ron, we need to take a brief break, and we're going to leave them all hanging.
No worries.
Because here he is out on the street. We're going to pick it up there, and he's going to tell us how he ended up being a superstar. So stick around. You're going to want to hear this. Ron Knight is our very special guest. We'll be back with Ron right after this. Hi, I'm Dale Davidson, host of Las Vegas Tonight. You know, radio has an enduring place in the heart of America. Sometimes it's music that can enliven your spirit or keep you company when you need some. More often for me, it's just been the right spoken word or two that can quiet my mind and soul. Radio brings me a reassuring word in the quiet of night or a welcoming voice early in the morning as I shake off the night's sleep and find my way into God's purpose for my day. And always, I find the best radio station is the one that brings me the best news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. My favorite radio station is KKVV in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's still right where it's been for years, at 1060 on the AM dial, hovering over Sin City like a gospel airship, broadcasting the good news of the abounding love that Jesus Christ has for every single one of us. No matter who you are or where you live, you can receive God's Word via the KKVV Gospel Airship. Just go to kkvv.com and click on Listen Live. KKVV is using all the tools that God's provided them, like podcasting and video streaming and video on demand, to produce programs that lift up our fellow believers and save the lost. If you feel a calling to speak to others about Jesus Christ on your very own show, pick up the phone and call the station. They'll be happy to tell you how. Call KKVV today at 702-731-5588 or drop them an email at kkvvradio@hotmail.com. Please join me in becoming part of the KKVV family. You'll be glad you did. We are so pleased to have with us Ron Knight, who is just a fabulous guest. If you missed the first segment, shame on you. Rewind and watch it, because then it's going to make sense. He's broke. He's on the street. He's living in L.A. He's registered at LACC, but he's got no money. That's where we pick up. How did you get out of this one, Ron?
Well, you know, I was going inside of each hotel.
Yeah.
No, let me take you back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because what happened was I ended up on the streets at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
With 2 suitcases.
Right.
I still was dressing pretty good.
Yeah.
But you know, if you wear a collared shirt too long, it starts to accumulate dust and everything else around it, right?
Yeah.
And I had my clothes. We were always taught to have, you know, I was always taught to be presentable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I would wear my tie, and I would have this. I had this checkered, black and white checkered, little small checkered jackets they used to wear.
Yeah.
At the time, I still can remember it. And I had my tie on, and then I had really nice pants on. But there was a movie house, and you see it in all the films. And Terry would know this place, and so would you. It was called the Orpheum Theater.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know the Orpheum Theater?
Yeah, sure.
Well, they used to have 3 features there.
Right.
And it was for, I think, 50 cents for 3 features.
Right.
That gave me at least a good 4 hours sleep.
Oh, you'd go in there and sleep.
So I'd go in there, and you know, I'd watch 5 Fingers of Death, you know, kung fu films, and all kinds of stuff like that. And then I'd pass out and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then one night, what stopped me from doing it was I was sitting there, and it would have been about 2:30 in the morning, and this guy pulled up next to me. And I'm like, just, you know, conked out.
Right.
And he put his hand on my leg.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, really? I jumped up, grabbed my 2 bags, and I walked out and I said, God, I need a job, and I need a job bad.
Yes.
So I was still going into the hotels,
Right.
because some of the security guards would, they kind of liked me. So I would take a shower in the hotel.
Oh, that's nice.
Like in the Bonaventure.
Yeah. Oh,
I'd go in there
Nice
and
hotel.
I'd take a shower, and then they have an ironing room in there, and I'd iron my clothes. And I always kept a can of starch on my collar.
Yeah.
And when I walked out, I remember saying that, God, please, just give me a job. I don't care what it is. I've registered for school. I got to have something.
Yeah, sure.
So I went into Bullock's. You remember on 8th Street?
Okay.
I went into Bullock's and I asked the lady, I said, look, I've registered for school. I have no place to stay. And, I need a job. And she said, well, I don't think I have anything. And this guy walked out, forget his name, real tall man, ex-Army guy.
Right.
And he was the kitchen manager. And he walked out, big, tall, white guy, same color hair as you have.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said, son, I got a job for you. And I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, come up to the kitchen. And so I went up to the kitchen, and they had this big conveyor belt of dishes.
Right.
It just kept, for the
Never
lunchtime, never ending. And he said, well, I'm going to put you in, he said, I can put you in charge of this. You make sure all the dishes are on the conveyor belt and you stack them,
right.
blah, blah. And he said, and then I'm going to teach you how to wash the pots, because he had done it in the service.
Oh, okay.
And real nice dude, man, and he said, and so I got the job.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he come to me about a week later, because I asked him, I said, well, when do they pay? And it was every 2 weeks.
Right.
But I needed a place to stay, because I still didn't have a place to stay.
Yes.
And he said, oh, by the way, your food is free.
Ah.
And I went, whoa, I hit the jackpot.
Yes.
And then one thing led to another. I ended up becoming the busboy.
Right.
And the girls would give me tips,
Right, yeah.
And then I moved, I had, when I got my check, I had enough to get a little bachelor pad. It was only about maybe the size of, maybe half the size of this.
Yes.
But it was mine, and it had a kitchen, had a shower on the outside.
Oh, that's nice.
And this guy saw me. This guy, he happened to be, he could pass for white, but he was white and black.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we used to call him Big Red.
Right.
And he saw me in that place one day, which I've actually taken my wife to it to show her where I had lived at the time. So because I was going to school across the street from it,
Right.
it said College Hotel.
Oh, okay.
But I'm still naive. I'm just out in Los Angeles.
Right.
And he stopped me in the hall and he said, what are you doing? He used to call me Young Buck. He said, what are you doing in here, Young Buck? I said, well, I'm going to school across the street. He said, do you know what kind of place this is, man? I said, what do you mean? It's College Hotel. I said, don't students live? He said, no, man, this is a whorehouse.
Oh, gee.
He said, I better not catch you in here with none of these girls. Big dude,
Yeah.
So he overseed me most of the time. He said, I better not catch you with none of the women in here.
All right.
He said, this is not a place for you.
Yeah.
I ended up surviving it because, I had 2 guys in there. One was from North Carolina. He went by the name of, his name was Washington, and he went by the name of Tar Heel because he was what do you call those radio operators used to have all the antennas on their,
oh, yeah.
on their cars.
Okay.
And
Ham radio guy.
yeah, he was a ham radio guy.
Right.
And he, looked out things for the police and all of that.
Yeah.
So these 2 guys, man, they overseed me the whole time. I did meet some nice people in there, that weren't there specifically, but the majority of it was for that.
That's a great story.
And I said, really, and I was like, I thought it was the College Hotel, you know? And that was the time that Mayor Bradley was.
Oh, he was the mayor then.
Yeah, he was a police officer first.
Oh, I remember
and then
that,
he became the mayor.
Oh, okay.
And then they named the airport after him.
Yes.
But that was I mean, there's more to the story, but we'll talk about that later.
There you go. So tell me about music and when you really got serious about it. Were you in school? Yeah,
I actually got really serious in college at LACC.
Right.
A friend of mine by the name of, he's originally from Poland. His family's originally from Poland. They were Polish Jews.
Right.
And he and I met in college, and he was a guitar player.
Oh, okay.
And he and I used to, when we had lunch, we would go to the flagpole because that's where all the students sat to eat lunch in front of the school. And he was playing his guitar one day, and I walked up to him and I said, "Hey man, you play really good, man." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a singer." He said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, okay." But he said, so I said, "Do you know Moon Dance?" You know the song Moon Dance?
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I do know it." And it's been in my repertoire for 50 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's the first song I ever sang in college.
Wow.
And one thing led to another. Then another guy who, by the name of Bob Barboza, he decided that he wanted to play with us, and he was a bass player.
Okay.
He had just got out of Vietnam, driving for generals, which was a risky job.
Yeah.
Because he said every place he went,
they
tried
to get him.
Get the generals.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I even tested him out because I would say, "Turn here." He like he was still in Vietnam someplace, you know. And then I met a guy named Marco Marcatulli. His real name was Nicholas.
Right.
But before Elton John and all of these other guys, this guy was God gift in playing piano.
Is that right?
Yeah, you just knew it. I mean, as soon as he started playing.
Yeah.
And he was afraid to play in front of an all-black audience.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we said to him, "Let me tell you something, man. With that gift you got, don't worry about it."
They're going to appreciate you.
They're going to appreciate you beyond what you can even fathom. So he hesitated to do it.
Yeah.
We talked him into it because we were doing it for the student union.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And when we got in there to do it for the student union, he was still apprehensive about doing it.
Yes.
Because he was a real blues man. He really loved blues. That was his main thing. His whole thing in life was to do that.
Play the blues.
And he played on that day. There was the original band. We were called May through November because it was everybody's birthday. And then some of the members left, and we became the Social Security Band.
Oh, that's great.
You know?
Yeah.
And then so we played that day, and they gave him a standing ovation. He couldn't believe it. I said, "I told you." I said, "You got a gift, man, that a lot of white guys don't have that."
Yeah, yeah.
So you're distinguished. They're going to see it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no doubt about it. They're going to see it.
Oh,
if I saw it, I know they're going to see it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so he and I went on to write some songs. You know, which I'll do his song today because he passed away not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Because he never could get his business prowess together.
Really?
He never could. But he did end up going to New Orleans to play blues.
He did.
That was his, and he came from a rich family in Los Feliz.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but they kind of disowned him. That's why he joined the Navy.
Wow.
He went in the Navy.
Wow.
And
it's really interesting that you say that because, you know, you and I were talking during the break about highly gifted musicians, just born with the gift.
Right.
And some, like yourself, do a great job with it all their lives, make a living at it, become famous, and others just never get there.
No, they don't.
And why is that, do you think? Because the gift is there, you know?
Look, let's take Quincy Jones, for instance.
Sure.
You know, remember when Quincy Jones had the brain operation and all of that?
Right, yeah.
Well, Quincy Jones is a genius. We know that he's a genius because, man, he's done so much
Produced
work.
everybody.
But imagine what you got to have in your head. even when in experiencing things with my wife, I tell her all the time, she listens to the songs that I write, right?
Yeah, sure.
She thinks they're already done. But I keep hearing other things.
Right.
Imagine the magnitude of Quincy Jones' mind.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's hearing...
Doing the arrangement for everybody. And
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
If it wasn't for Ray Brown, the bass player, Quincy wouldn't be where he is.
Really?
Because Ray Brown was his manager.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, all of us have somebody in the background that is working a lot of other stuff for us that we can't do.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do what my wife does.
Yeah.
I just don't have that. On music, I can just concentrate. I can lock myself away and do it.
Yeah.
But that other stuff outside of that, I don't have the ability. I get bored immediately.
Yeah.
I need to move on to another project.
Yeah.
And so I think even though we have that, we lose it in the other areas.
That's very interesting. That really is to me.
We lose it in other areas.
Yeah. Did you have a mentor right from go? Or did you pick up as you went along?
Well, my brother was my real mentor. My father did sing.
Yeah.
But he never really talked to me about it.
Yeah.
But the mentors that I've had along the way is incredible, because I had Vincent Price.
Wow.
I had what's his name? I had Jack Palance.
Oh yeah.
Karen Black.
Wow.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Wow.
Bill Cosby.
Wow.
These are people I met.
Yeah.
You know, that I would tap into their brain, and it wouldn't necessarily be with music.
Right.
I'd ask them about a relationship that I had with a girl.
Yeah.
And why I wasn't surviving that relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They were wise.
Yeah, they had the experience they already knew, and I thought, if I'm going to ask anybody, I got to ask these guys, because they know. You know. And so when I met Sammy Davis Jr., which I met at the Musicians Union on Vine Street in Hollywood.
Right.
By the time I met Sammy, I had met just about everyone in Hollywood.
Wow.
You know. So I would ask them. I mean, that's how my life went, because I didn't know any of these people before I came, coming from New Jersey.
Yeah, I'll bet.
But Hollywood offered that to me as a young man coming green.
Yeah, what a great place to get started.
Yeah.
We needed to take another brief break, right. Ron. When we come back, we got a little surprise for the audience, if not for you.
No.
We'll be back with Ron Knight and guest right after this.
You are unique, complex, beautiful, valuable. I made you different. Out of 7,787,200,861 people on planet Earth right now, no one is the same as you. I created you. I gave you breath. I formed your being. And each day I give you life, and I love you. But a divide came between us, and you turned your back and went your own way. You tried life without me, and it's slowly killing you. You know there's more. Again and again you try to find it, sipping from the empty cup of sin, but nothing quenches the deep down thirst. But this is not your story. I made you for more, for life with me in full bloom. So I came to Earth to live as you do. I felt your fragility, the problem of pain, the tearing of temptation, but I did not give in. And even though I authored life itself, I chose death. I took your sin, the weight, the cost, and it killed me. It killed me instead of you. That's what I wanted. And I did it because I love you. I laid down my life. I knew I could take it back. I'm alive. I am Jesus. In a world full of shortcuts, I am the way. In a world full of lies, I am the truth. And in a world full of death, I am the life. I died and came back to life so that I could give you a clean slate. If you believe that I did that for you, my life is yours. Will you take it?
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. We have a special guest. Ron Knight is here, and an even more special guest, his lovely bride, Kimberly. Kimberly Knight, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. So you guys are joined at the hip, I hear.
Yeah.
You do everything together, huh?
Yeah.
And
People don't recognize me without Ron.
There you go.
I'm serious. Really, yeah.
And you met in Australia?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
And tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from in Australia? And
I'm born in Newcastle, Australia,
oh, okay.
just 2 hours north of Sydney.
Okay.
And yeah, my parents still live there, and I am lucky enough to live between Vegas and Australia.
Oh,
With
okay.
Ron, so
How long is that flight?
Long.
It's forever, isn't it?
It's
yeah,
a long
long.
flight.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
LA, 14 and a half hours in
14.
the air.
All you see is ocean.
And that's the close one. That's as
Yeah.
close as
All
they get.
water.
Yeah, all you see is
Good.
water.
Yeah.
I always say a couple of movies, some food, and a sleep. You're there.
Yeah, okay, okay.
We normally stop in Hawaii, though, just to break it up.
Do you? Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's never-
We will either stop in Hawaii, Tahiti, or Fiji. That breaks up the flight.
Wow. You guys are lucky. You're living the life.
Yeah, well,
Trying, man.
it is what it is.
So, Kimberly, you're a singer too?
I'm a dancer.
A dancer. I knew you were in the entertainment
Yeah,
business.
so I put Ron's shows together when he needs the girls, choreograph them, and make all the costumes as well.
Oh, okay.
So we're a package.
And you
love
do, you're in charge of a beauty pageant, no?
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
my Las Vegas beauties. So I have 2 beauty pageants, Miss Las Vegas Classic Beauty Pageant and the Lady Vegas International 40 Plus Beauty Pageant.
Oh, okay.
And they came about because we had a music and fashion expo that we put on every year here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, for years you did that,
So
right?
it's an annual event.
Yeah.
And
Music and fashion
music and
together?
fashion. So music
Okay.
singers and then fashion designers come through with their designs, and then we added the pageants.
Oh,
Just for
that's
the whole
nice.
beauty segments.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's fun.
And then,
time.
does your husband provide the music for the pageant?
He sings. He does some of the original music that plays in the background for the girls,
Right.
and he's a host many years.
I basically produce.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
all of
producing it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we bring in some great people like Joe Shavira, Minnie Fox, Mike Vidal, Patty Powers, Aretha
okay.
Harden. Some good names here. Miss Barbara Brighton, and I'm sure.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
who Barbara
She's been on the
is.
show. Yeah.
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 So it's a good lineup.
And where are you going to hold it this year?
East Flamingo Library Theater.
Okay, that's a beautiful place.
It is a beautiful theater.
You know, I've seen many shows there, and you know, you don't think you're in a library because
No.
you're in a
You really
you're in
don't.
No,
a
it's
great
really
theater.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's reasonably priced, and it sells out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Doesn't it?
nice spot.
Yeah.
Nice spot.
Yeah.
We try to keep ours a little bit more private than what it is because we've got a niche and
Yeah.
we've been doing it now for quite a few years.
Yes.
So we just add few people on at a time.
Oh, I
So we don't really, it's not so much the numbers that we were looking for. We're really, I didn't want to do it in the beginning
right.
because I didn't really want to have anything to do with women in pageant. But after I had experienced what it did for the women,
Yeah.
I just was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is something else.
Yeah.
Because there was women who came in there that just really had kids, didn't know what they wanted to do, and
Yeah.
but after that pageant,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, I've got a friend in California, and she's been doing pageants for years and years, and won the Ms. America herself
Nice.
in the 90s. And then she did it for the same reason, you know, not to make money so much as just to help the women
an
because
empowerment
it's
thing.
done so much
Yeah.
for them.
Right.
And you've noticed that with
Yeah,
the girls?
it's bonding people. They empower one another. They go and do charity events. They do fashion shows. That they're all over the place.
Yeah.
They wear their crowns and their sashes, and they, you know, become powerful. And it's beautiful.
And they have stage presence.
It really
now.
is beautiful.
You know, they say the number one fear is the fear of public speaking.
That's right.
And getting out on stage
and we make them do it.
And yeah, absolutely.
We make them do 2 questions on stage.
Do you?
Yes, but they don't have to wear a bikini or no talent. 40 plus, you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Well, what a good thing you're doing for the women.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Australia a little bit. And you were like a hot shot there.
Yeah, I still am.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I'm booked already.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, because she's already put. I just tell her don't go over a certain number.
Yeah.
Because then I start to get fatigued, you know.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really love the beach.
Oh yeah.
So I'd rather spend my time just laying there,
Not working so much.
getting the sun.
Yeah.
You know. And so
Ron becomes a spiritual powerhouse when he gets to the water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's
There's something
different
about
person.
it, isn't
it
there?
is. No, it's for real.
Yeah.
Because
The energy is really
during COVID,
Yeah.
we kind of lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
People that I had known for 40 years. I'm one of them I've made up with. He's starting to realize now. So I called him. As soon as I messaged him,
Yeah.
he got straight back to me. But before that, I was the worst thing on the planet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he decided that we decided that if we were going to get COVID, it was meant for us to get it.
Right.
That's how we approached it.
right.
We didn't get it, and then we decided that if we were going to defend ourselves against it, we had to be at that beach,
Oh okay.
because that beach gives you all the rays that you need, you know, without supplementing anything into your body.
Yeah.
And
there's immunity. There's vitamin D. There's all of
Yes,
that.
there's all of that in
Yeah,
it, you know, and
yeah.
the seawater
Yeah.
and all of that stuff, you know, because I literally love the ocean.
Yes.
You know, people say, oh, you know, Australia's got all of these. Trust me, I've been everywhere there.
Yes.
And those animals are more afraid of human beings.
Americans are scared of the big animals in
Yeah.
Australia.
Oh, is that
They're
it?
more.
Yeah.
I've lived with snakes,
Yes.
and you know, I'm from Newark, New Jersey. There's no snake there. But once you get down there, you start to realize that these animals are more afraid of you.
Sure they are.
You know, imagine if you had to crawl on the ground and
Yeah.
a giant comes along.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I look at it from that perspective. The only thing I hate down there more than anything else is mosquitoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the animals I can deal with, but the
Flies and
mosquitoes,
They're everywhere.
flies
year
and
round.
mosquitoes.
Yeah.
It's like
no, they're not
Florida.
year round.
Oh,
but,
okay.
you know,
Okay.
But during the summer.
During the summertime. Yeah. Now, music-wise, you did a lot of television, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
In Australia. Tell me about that. Competitions?
No, I didn't necessarily do I did. Star Search was a competition.
Oh, okay.
But Star Search is a true program.
yeah.
It was when Ed McMahon had that program.
I remember. Yeah.
He paid everybody that was going to come on.
Yeah.
So you got paid for Star Search.
Yeah.
Nowadays they just pick maybe one who they've already picked, and it works the same way on
Right.
everyone. The
Right.
sponsors pick it, and they know who's going to be.
It's like
Script.
reality TV, which is
Yeah.
real. you
They
know?
already
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
give them the because they have the platform.
Yes.
They give them all of the publicity,
Yes.
and then they send them to Vegas.
Right. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's but I had so many programs. I ended up connecting with a TV producer
Right.
who constantly had me on.
Oh, okay.
Anna Manzoni. You know, Anna Manzoni, very, very nice lady. Still friends with her today.
Yeah.
And it got me. You know, I made a good living out of it, a really good living out of it, you know. And then I hooked up with Chelsea Brown.
Oh,
If you
okay.
remember Chelsea?
Sure. Sure.
With Sock It To Me and with Goldie
yeah.
Hawn.
Oh yeah.
She and I used to do a show called Double Vision.
Oh, okay.
And we started that in Tasmania.
Wow. That's a beautiful island.
Yeah, it's real nice. Actually, it's my favorite place in Australia.
It is.
But it's so far away that
it's hard to get.
well, I can't really say it no more because we actually have a place that's close to it now.
Oh, is that right?
It's called Kangaroo Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it's a
That's a getaway for you?
sanctuary. I showed it to Terry yesterday. She said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Well, you're always welcome to come down and experience it." You know.
That's wonderful.
So I would never have gotten that place here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be hard for anyone to get that kind of place here.
Wow.
You know, but I asked her to look one day and said, just find us something, you know, and we found that.
What an exotic place.
Yeah, they got kangaroos, eagles, seals.
Wow.
It's basically untouched.
My mom loves it down there. She loves to do photography, so she's
Oh, is that
like,
right?
Yeah.
when are we going back?
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, it's really beautiful.
So tell me about you guys. How did you meet?
Well, actually, one of the television shows that Ron had to do, the girl who was supposed to do it, I was working with her as a cheerleader for a basketball team.
Oh, okay.
And she ended up not being able to do it for Ron, and I volunteered to do it.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to Japan for 3 months on a show, and then I came back and put a show with Ron.
Oh, okay.
So from 92, that's when we've been working together.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when did you get married?
Later.
Much later.
Much later, 2004.
It's called the feel out. We both was feeling each other out.
It was a probationary period.
Yeah.
But I realized that, you know, we were soulmates, you know.
Yeah.
That's how our relationship is, you know. We're not jealous of each other, you know. I had gone through all of that, you know, when you're younger.
Yeah.
And when you kind of meet somebody after you've had the experience,
Yes.
it's easier to choose someone like that, because you start to realize, wait a minute, this is different.
Yeah.
You know, as you get older, you're more mature.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like
Yeah.
yin and yang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it was really
And you
funny.
realize love is more than just the initial physical attraction.
Exactly.
You know, it's a deeper soul to soul thing.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And because when she first came, I was sitting with the other girls, and she walked by, and I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm telling you, I'm not looking for anyone right now for the show." She said, "Okay."
He's like, I don't need
And she
4,
just
I
walked.
only need 3. I said,
And she
okay.
just walked. But it ended up with us anyway. See what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and then when we first met each other, I didn't know she was married. She didn't know that I was married,
Right.
you know. And we were going home, and I said, "You know something?" I said, if we don't ever do anything together, I just want to know one thing. Can we just be real good friends? She said, "Yeah, that's fine with me."
Oh, that's
And
sweet.
that's how it
That's
really
sweet.
started.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped her off, and that was it.
Isn't that a good place to start a relationship
Absolutely.
anyway?
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
And
And
we
then the
weren't
music-
looking for anything, you know.
Kept it alive.
Yeah. That'll
Yeah.
do it.
The music is amazing.
Will you sing for us for a minute?
Yeah.
A cappella is a tough thing to
that's-
ask. an
no,
act.
that's fine for me.
Okay.
I'm easy with it.
Oh,
I
okay.
used to do doo-wop on the corner.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Well, here's a song that my friend wrote. I tried to get it from him for at least 40 years.
Oh, wow.
We wrote it. I was the day we wrote it. He was living on Willoughby in Hollywood,
Right.
and he was sort of. He said, "Man, I got this song for you." And I said, "Well, play it, man." And he said, and he played it. And he had this Japanese wife who would always disappear when I'd go to the house. And I said, "Man, that's not good, man, in America." I said, because in America, she gonna change her attitude. She come from Japan, but in America, she gonna change the attitude. But he didn't catch on to it,
Yeah.
you know, because he was used to being in Japan.
Right.
So when he brought it here, he didn't think about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he wrote this song. He wrote this song called "Midnight Walking"
Okay.
because she ended up leaving him.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was real sad. You know, it was real sad because, you know, you can't tell people unless they experience.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
this is a song that I'm dedicating to Nicholas Marcatulli
Right.
and to his daughter, who now survives him.
Yes.
And
You mentioned him earlier.
yeah, and he just couldn't get his business thing together, and he became very, very religious.
Yes.
You know. And this is me for him, and I'm going to record it you know, and any of the proceeds will go to his wife. So it goes like this. Feet in the street, toes in the mud, midnight walking is in my blood. My money's all spent, I can't pay the rent, and I don't know which way she went, but I'm a walking, midnight walking. I can't find my girl all over this world. She did me wrong, but I found someone new. Now I'm gonna walk on you the way my baby walked on me. There you go, right there.
Give him a hand. Very hip, very hip.
You know,
thank you for gracing us with that.
No worries, man.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
It's hard to believe, but an hour has ripped by.
Fast.
Please come again, will you?
Yeah, I will.
And by then we're going to have a big stage, and we're going to have a band.
No worries.
And we're going to have you perform.
No worries, man.
Thank
That's
you,
fine.
Ron. Thank you.
Thank you.
And dear lady, Kimberly,
Thank you.
so much
No
for coming on the program. What a great couple they are, huh? We're going to invite him back, and you're going to dance, and he's going to sing, and it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Ooh, costumes. Look out.
Costumes and everything.
Costumes
no
and
worries.
everything.
And
No
as I
worries.
try
Be
to
our
remember
pleasure.
to say thank you again for coming.
One last thing.
Yeah, sure.
Because you wanted me to reiterate on this.
Oh, yeah.
If you find that you are a Christian and that's really helping you out,
Yes.
then you need to be that. Because I had a brother, as long as he had a little bit of religion in him, he was fine. When he got away from it, he went downhill. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you for saying that. We appreciate it. And as I try to remember to say, speaking of religion and Jesus Christ, when it comes to Him, I like to say every week, walk with Him. God bless you. Thanks for watching.
Country grace in a holy place, a shining star on heaven's
You know, one of the worst feelings imaginable is the feeling of being alone. I mean, this is why solitary confinement is one of the cruelest punishments ever in human history.
Yeah, we were designed for relationships. The most meaningful thing in life is to be truly known by another person.
But this can actually be kind of scary, too. I mean, what if I let people down? Or what if when someone learns who I really am, they'll realize they can't really love me? I mean, how are we supposed to really find meaningful relationships?
And so the Bible speaks to all of this. It says that God created the world in order to share with us the beauty of existence.
God's desire for us is to have significant friendships, to be part of families, to create things, and to share our work with others.
And all the while depending on God as our source of love and life.
But here's the thing, there's so many barriers to that. There's loneliness, fear, hatred.
And the Bible claims that these are a result of our being disconnected from God. Without God, we don't actually know who we are anymore. But at the center of the Bible story is Jesus, who wants to bring us back into a relationship with God. Jesus claimed that God loves us for who we are, and that he calls us into a relationship with him despite our failures. And when you realize how loved you are by God, that he is not ashamed of you, it changes everything. It gives you a source of love that is not your own.
So the story of the Bible is calling us into the most important relationship.
Yeah, it's calling us to know and be known by the Creator God himself.
Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with your host, Dale Davidson. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of our show. We so appreciate your loyalty to our program. To keep Las Vegas Tonight on the air, please go to our website, vegassaints.org, and click the Donate button. To send a check or money order, please make it out to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries and mail it to 9030 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To suggest a guest to appear on the show or any other suggestions or questions, write to Dale at dalewdavidson@yahoo.com or call him at 702-480-3989.
Shine, Las Vegas, shine.